Brian Coates earned his baseball distinction as an outstanding player and a team leader of the very good junior and senior teams of the Carman Goldeyes. That was back in the 1970s and 80s. Brian, you've been inducted into both the Manitoba Baseball and the Manitoba Sports Halls of Fame as a member of those Goldeye teams, and you now are an individual member. Tell us how you remember the highlights of those years in Carman.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Baseball has been something that I grew up with, obviously, and wasn't pushed. Played it just for the love of the game, and talking about ending up in Carman and being all those years. Started in a little community called Roland, and then just evolved into Carman. But very fortunate that Carman was surrounded by very much a unique bunch of people that were able to keep those programs alive and give us an opportunity to play right through from junior on into senior. And if I go back and look back at Carman, you have to look back not only at the ball players but at the individuals. And comes to mind people like Joe Petherbridge, who basically mentored baseball for years and years. Those are the types of people that I think more of the credit belongs to than the ball players themselves. They're very good to us, and so we were just able to play and be very fortunate to be part of it.
You've got some good positive memories from that time frame, eh?
Yeah, it's very good actually. It's that was a part of our lives that for 15 years. That basically, like you say, I was 15 years old. Out at the road waiting for Terry Dell to come by and pick me up and go to Carman so I could jump in a car with Joe Petherbridge and Fred Walker and go to the city. And from the time I got in the car till the time I played baseball and got out at home, all they talked about was baseball, and it was just that was what it was about, and just it was a love that everybody had.
Brian, one special season for you, I'm sure, was 1978. When you played on a Red Boyne League All-Star team that won the Western Canadian Seniors in Nanaimo, BC. Good memories of that?
Oh, great memories of that, actually. It's quite different. I think that was when the airstrike was on, if I remember correctly, and so we actually, rather than drive out there, we chartered a plane and as a group, and that was really my first introduction to the. Well, I hate to start saying names and stuff like that, but the Ziedlers and all those types of players. We got on a plane, and by the time we got to BC, we knew each other way better than we did before we started. And then we were fortunate enough to go through and win all of that there. So, but that again was it was all about the people that were on that team. We were probably better acquainted by the time we got out there than we had been in our lives, and just continued on from there.
Brian, you mentioned some of those individuals that you feel played a part in your career. Is there anybody else, any managers, players, mentors who boosted your performance along the way?
I think that the big thing, like I say, when I mentioned Joe Petherbridge, he was the guy that sort of put together all those teams and stuff. But when we first started playing junior, I was considered one of the old Goldeyes because I was just a little older than that group that came behind me. I was a real young fella. I actually joined the Goldeyes after the year that they lost in the finals in Sarnia. I was 16. So a lot of those guys were gone. And then about a year later, a whole nucleus of group joined us, but when the junior program got going, a fellow by the name of Bert Goldman was a school teacher in town, and he took on a bunch of young guys and spent hours and hours with us practicing and playing, and I think that's really what started the nucleus of that group, and then we just continued on from there. The love of the game and the guys getting together sort of
terrific,
carried to the next level.
How about boyhood idols? Any baseball stars that you most admired growing up?
I don't think that I was more of a hockey TV nut and stuff, but the baseball wasn't something that I grew up idling players like some people do and stuff. So I wouldn't really say that there's anybody in particular other than the game itself.
How about a favorite team? Have you got a favorite major league team?
Well, everybody's got obviously got the Blue Jays now and stuff. I can remember when they were on their rolls, and I was working in the farm and staying on the tractor an extra couple hours so we could listen to the Blue Jays when they were doing their thing in their era too. So
Do you get in to see the Goldeyes play at all in Winnipeg?
yeah, we get in once in a while. We don't
Okay.
spend a lot of time. We're not. I wouldn't call ourselves baseball fans to the point where we spend a lot of time following the baseball. But yeah, we enjoy going in once in a while.
But they say that once you've had it, you never lose it. Do you feel that way about your interest in baseball?
I think yes, I do. I think that it's something that when you say we don't spend a lot of time watching, when you sit down, it just becomes part of what you've always done, and
It's in the blood.
it's in the blood for sure. And we, like you say, you love to see the players play the way they play and hit the ball, and just what the athletes have become today is something else in itself. So it's a different world altogether now.
Exactly.
For sure.
Brian, I would suggest that it's kind of satisfying for you to look back and to be told that you're a Hall of Famer in your sport. Do you agree on that?
Well, it's a catch-22 for me actually, because I've always considered myself to be a ball player, but I'm no different than a lot of the guys that I played with, and we're fortunate to have some pretty good ball teams. I think I'm more fortunate to have been surrounded by good people right from the start, from my parents to the Joe Petherbridges to the Bert Gaumans and the Dennis Youngs in the end. I think that the whole crew of people it's more about the group of people. The Carmen Goldeyes can be proud of this day as much as anybody else, because they were such a big part of baseball at that era, and I was just very happy to be part of it, and I'm humbled a little bit by it all, but it is very satisfying too. So
You've heard the feelings of Brian Coates, one of the latest members of the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame.
thanks, Bob.